42, paragraph 40. Irrevocable 42, paragraph. When after we do anything, we choose action, we feel deep regret or we doubt its effect, this is the will of sharp weapon, returning full circle upon us from wrongs we have done. Till now we have been figured and stirred by base motive, have quoted only them who have power or wealth. Hereafter, let us act with complete self-awareness, exerting great care in the way we make friends. So first I will read the root text, okay, and then commentary. 43. When those with ambition repay trusting friendship by luring us on with their devious schemes, this is the will of sharp weapon, returning full circle upon us from wrongs we have done. Till now, from ambition, we have acted with arrogance. Hereafter, let us temper our self-centered pride. When the force of attraction or thereof repulsion, colors, whatever we hear or we say, this is the will of sharp weapon. This is the will of sharp weapons returning full circle upon us from wrongs we have done. Till now we have ignored that has caused all our troubles, the mass of delusions that dwell in our heart. Hereafter, let us try to abandon all the hindrances. Note that arisal, examine them well. 45. And no matter how well we mean our actions towards others, they always elicit a hostile response. This is the will of sharp weapon, returning full circle upon us from wrongs we have done. Till now we have repaid loving kindness with malice. Hereafter, let's always accept others' favor, both graciously and with most humble respect. Okay, go back to the commentary now. 42. The moment we begin some virtuous actions such as studying or doing meditational retreat, we expect to become a scholar or to receive a manifestation of deity, yet we soon find ourselves unable to accomplish the real purpose and regret even beginning. You go up the mountain without even superficial renunciation, and completely soon feel unable to go down, while unable to stay. What can we do? What can we do? Answer the question. We have ourselves this quandary because we have previously been feeble, eager at the beginning, but tiring soon and saying, "Do you get free?" Things about our action. We have done practice without accomplishing the real point and have not transformed our minds. We have attained teachings only because they have special names. If we attempt or boast to practice, we cannot accomplish because we do not undergo the proper training. We will receive the fruitless result. For example, we may take an initiation of Avalokiteshvara and keep the practice for a while, but then we take another initiation of Manjushri and change to that practice for a few months. After we switch to Vajrapani, this way we shall achieve nothing. Rallo translator, Tibetan translator, said, doesn't act like the hunter who first pursues a hawk, then a fox, and then a masked deer, for he returns empty-handed. He will not attain Vedadana, cultivate the meditational deities and their practice steadily. Should one of our spiritual masters advise us to perform an advanced meditation when our actual practice is only the level of initial motivation, we should still continue our usual practice to fulfill his words. We should, however, also dedicate some time to the subject he has recommended. We should not continually run after new practice and so forth. This sounds good, huh? So this is what we are talking about when we start practicing, right? So we receive many different kinds of teachings, like renunciation, bodhicitta mind, wisdom realizing emptiness, many teachings. But we need to understand what is really essence of the teachings. We don't go this like this. So if you understand essence of teaching, right? So it means first you need to, how can I say, you need to first understand about how to train your mind. This is normally old teachings. Finally come to training the mind, discipline the mind. Any teaching, whatever we study, learning, reciting, prayer, prostration, making offering, point is to discipline the mind, to subdue the mind, right? So therefore, when we say training the mind, training the mind means you need to understand the mind first, right? And then you have to train the mind, right? So training the mind means we are trying to train our ordinary mind to the specific mind, special mind. The ordinary mind train into virtuous mind. Or ordinary mind train into renunciation mind, bodhicitta mind, ordinary mind. So what we are training is training our ordinary mind, right? We are not training our nature of mind. Nature of mind is clear. It is always luminosity, But that mind is unable to recognize at the moment because we have so many afflictive emotions, delusions. So we have to subside all these into them, back to the mind. All whatever emotion, thought arising, all are manifestation of the mind. So all the manifestation of the mind, all have to go back to the mind. It's just like clouds coming and going, eventually go back to the sky. Sky nature is always clear. It is never polluted. It's temporarily, sometimes we can't see the sky, but its nature is clear. But because of cloud, we are unable to see the sky. When the clouds goes, we see the sky. Very similar to our mind. So we need to, when we start practicing, you have 2 points. Beginning, joyfully you have to practice. Somebody not to force you. You know what I mean? You are enjoying this practice. Joyfully, somebody says, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. Not that kind of practice cannot help you. You just learn, study, and then you see the advantage. And then you joyfully practicing. You know. That's the number one. You joyfully practice, then you will never tire. You enjoy your practice because you willingly you're doing this. No pushing, not pushing. Somebody says you have to do this. No, you just have to see the benefit of the practice. Joyfully you start and you finish with joyfully. So you start with joyfully, you finish with not really happy, then next time you don't want to practice. You know what I mean? So you start with joyfully, finish with joyfully. But when we say practice, we don't have to do long practice or whatever, you know. Just whatever you practice, try to practice some pure practice, genuine practice. You know. You don't have to, when I say practice, I don't mean you have to practice 1 hour, 2 hours, nothing like that. But whatever you practice, you start with joyfully, finish with joyfully. Just keep going like this, and then you will never give up your practice. You know what I mean? Otherwise, like Manjushri transmission here, go to another move. Maybe better than generosity, maybe another initiation, you know. The story in India, there's one German woman, he went to see his holiness, and she first went to India, right? And when practice Hindu, Hindu, very good. And then she practiced, and a couple of months, oh no, I have to change this practice. So she started practicing Nyingma Lama, very good. Started with Nyingma practice. Couple of months, oh, Nyingma no good, Kaiju. Couple of months, no, Kaiju no good, then Sakya. And then couple of months, Sakya no good, Gelupa. And then later, she says, oh, I'm not doing any practice. So this is like shopping, you know, just somebody. So you don't see the benefit of practice. If you see the benefit of practice, you shouldn't be doing like this. You know, all same, you know, giving same messages. You know what I mean? So that's very important. So whenever you practice, you have to use 2 things. Analytical and analysis, 2 things. Mind, analytical, analysis. So analytical is something very rough. You don't analyze much. So for example, like when you start meditation, you know, and then delusion arises, like anger arises, right? Then you didn't notice when anger arises, you try to subdue the anger, focusing, concentrating, or you didn't notice other delusion arising, you know, like arrogance or pride. So then you need analysis. Analysis means more investigation, thoroughly analyze. So that means how delusion arises and what is the disadvantage of that delusion, how to apply attitude. So then things like that, then you use these two, analytical and analysis. Analytical is rough checking. Analysis is full detail, cool. And then when anger arises, so when you are meditating something else to subdue the anger, you will notice other delusion arise. So then you will, immediately try to stop. You know what I mean? So that's talking over here. When others cheat and deceive us, it is because in the past we have been egotistical and arrogant. We have thought ourselves to be cleverest, most handsome, and so on. We have continually, greedily to only receive from the others. Now the will of sharp weapon returns, practice giving and taking meditation. Here in future life, we should try to have less greed and arrogance and to cultivate contentment. So contentment is very important. We're not saying you give up everything, but you have contentment, you can enjoy. At the same time, you can practice. You know what I mean? Some have lots of luxury, but they don't attach to that, but they practice. There are many kings in India, practicing Dharma, everything, but have realization because they have contentment, So like, there's one good example is 7th Dalai Lama, best example, One example is Milarepa. Milarepa is nothing, very hard, nothing. 7th Dalai Lama lived in a very palace, Potala Palace, and very luxury life. But he told never think he owned all these things. He just owned his robes, everything owned by others. So that's renunciation, So, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can have contentment and they can practice, If listening to giving discourse encourage our delusions rather than despairing, then if we are jealousy of teacher and listen while being envious of the teaching other people receive, it is because of this previous lifetime we have not thought truly about the disadvantage of our being possessed by the devilish self-judging attitude, and on the contrary have cultivated it. We should remember this and practice. Giving and taking now, in future, we need to shake off all the influence of the delusion, properly contemplating its disadvantage. We abandon the self-judging attitude. So that's, we know the self-judging is very destructive, Even one family, self-judging, you see family disharmonious. You see, you don't have to believe any religious, just we see very clearly. If family self-centered attitude, then disharmonious. No peace in the family, right? So this, because people don't realize the disadvantage of the self-judging mind. If you really realize, if you are very intelligent, then you don't want to suffer, but you are suffering, but because you don't have control with this self-judging mind, right? anything, something, something bad happened, and then self-judging mind, blame for others, not thinking, it's my fault, So you just pinpoint for others. You don't see fault. You are always pinpoint for others, not looking for inside, So that's why in the Buddhist, we are saying first very important is when delusion arises, you have to recognize very clearly recognize. If you recognize clearly, then you will be not influenced by the delusions. And then you have opportunity to stop delusions, or to minimize, or to cut the levels of delusions. First, you have to recognize, just like you recognize your enemy, external enemy, and then as you are very careful with the enemy, wherever, you know what I mean? So similarly, so first we have to recognize this, when we talk of enemy, we are talking of enemy inside, not outside. Internal enemy. Internal enemy is worse than external enemy, right? If there's no internal enemy, no external enemy. You know what I mean? Because enemy, we always say external enemy because we have internal enemy. Internal delusion, then discriminate. Discriminate, and then anger, attachment, jealousy. But if you have no delusion, then no enemy. You are completely, how can I say, you completely subside your mind. Discipline, subdue your mind. Right? So that's for definition. 42. 45 minutes, not yet.
45,
yeah. Sometimes, no matter how we try to be kind to others, we only meet their displeasures. Similarly, when kind teacher have scolded us, we have held grudge against them, although they actually scold us only out of care for us. We should not be discouraged at receiving no thanks to our good intention. It is a return of the will of sharp weapons for our similar actions. We shouldn't think in this way. Although all sentient beings have been our mothers, not recognizing them, we have been unkind to them. Now we receive appropriate result from if abused and scolded by others, we should revere and respect them. The affliction we receive are the outcome only of our own unwholesome actions. So these are not ordinary people do this. Bodhisattva, a great master, who have understand the Dharma. Ordinary people, you just hit one, you won't hit twice. Right? You scold, criticize the other. That's ordinary people doing this. You hit one, you have to hit twice. You criticize, you have to criticize. That's ordinary people. But the Bodhisattvas and practitioners completely over that, because they are not thinking about the future enlightenment, future nirvana, not just thinking about temporary problem. They're just thinking about more lasting happiness, freedom. Understand? So that means basically understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. So Buddha taught Four Noble Truths three times. First, second, third time. So first, just this is the truth of suffering, this is the origin of suffering, this is cessation, this is path. Just give statement to recognize. First statement, right? And then second, what is second one? Do you understand all these Four Noble Truths? First statement is this is truth of suffering. These are the truth of origin of suffering. This is the truth of cessation of suffering. This is the truth of path of cessation. Just introduce the Four Noble Truths. Right? Then the second is statement is Buddha established a system by which the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths can be implemented into our practice. So he started, suffering is to be recognized, origin is eliminated, cessation must be actualized, and the path cultivated. So first you realize suffering, origin of suffering, cessation, just give introduction. And then secondly, saying that now you recognize these Four Noble Truths, now you have to practice, actualize, practice. So suffering is to be recognized, like, and then origin eliminated, cessation must be actualized and path cultivated. And then he gives third statement, right? Third statement is, it is, although suffering is to be recognized, there is no suffering to recognize. So he's talking about emptiness of the Four Noble Truths. Empty of inherent existence of the Four Noble Truths. You know what I mean? Although its origin to be overcome, there is no origin overcome. Although cessation must be actualized, there is no cessation to actualize. Inherently, nothing. Right? Although the path must be cultivated, there is no path to cultivate. So first, just introduce. Second, put into practice. Third, realization of the nature of the Four Noble Truths. So this is what Buddha told, that cessation, peace, permanent. You know what I mean? So now, you think Four Noble Truths is very complicated. It really sounds like very simple. But if we go more detailed, very complicated. So now for each Noble Truth, first for truth of suffering, divided into four, so how can I? Four characteristics of the first truth of suffering. To the origin of suffering, four characteristics. Cessation, four characteristics. And path, four characteristics. It all makes into 16 aspects or the characteristics of the meditation of Four Noble Truths. It will just give you, like, I just briefly give you truth of suffering. So, truth of suffering, right? So take your body, subject. Your body is subject. And then use these four characteristics: impermanence, suffering, empty, and selflessness. Use your body, meditate. Your body is object of your meditation. So your body, first, impermanent. Your body is impermanent, right? Because we see your body is changing all the time, momentarily moving, right? And your body is impermanent. Second is suffering, nature of suffering. You have physical suffering, we have mental suffering. Yeah, your body, nature of suffering, right? And then your body is empty. Here, empty means lack of self, permanent, single, and independent. You know what I mean? Your body is selflessness. Selflessness means empty of self-sufficient, substantial self-existence. So use your body with meditation, with impermanence, suffering, empty, and selflessness. So you meditate on the truth of suffering with these four characteristics or the four features. So you meditate, use your body, and then impermanence, suffering, empty, and selflessness. Then you, so when you move to the origin, so origin means, so there's four characteristics of the origin of suffering, right? First, gu means cause, origin, production, and condition, four. Second is truth of suffering, right? Truth of suffering, to the origin of suffering, four characteristics. Cause, origin, production, and condition. So use your grasping mind, subject. Your grasping mind is origin of everything. You know, you're grasping, not understanding the fundamental ignorance, not understanding your self nature. So first you have self and then phenomena. Phenomena are five aggregates. Mm-hmm. Your self, like something of self, designated in five aggregates. So self samtala, his five aggregates is phenomena. Five aggregates empty, emptiness of phenomena. Self empty, emptiness of person. So you use your internal fundamental grasping subject. It is origin of everything. Just like tree, you know, root of tree. When root of tree give you many branches, thousands of branches. If you cut the root of tree, all story finished. If you cut from the branches, anyway, it doesn't matter, it will grow all the time. So similar, you realize your fundamental ignorance is origin of everything. Origin, right? Oh, no, sorry, cause. This cause, and then origin coming from the, then all these 6 delusions, 20 secondary affective emotions, all coming, right? And then not coming, but becoming stronger and stronger. You know, your emotion, delusion became stronger and stronger. Production, just producing more and more production. And condition. So condition, how much condition we have. Every time we think there's condition, we will plant the seed all the time. Condition, very easy to grow. You know what I mean? So that you understand the second noble truth, what we called origin, four characteristic: cause, origin, production, and condition. Then cessation, right? Cessation and four characteristics of the truth of cessation. Cessation, peace, excellence, and renunciation. Yes, cessation is really, cessation means you cease delusion, right? Cessation, you cease the delusion, it's lasting peace. When we have delusion, no peace. When we subside the delusion, peace. Cessation is lasting peace. It's not temporary peace. Just cease delusion, then peace, which means permanent peace. If we have permanent peace, excellent. We don't have to change all the time, so, you know. Your mind is changing here, my mind is changing, your mind is changing up and down like this. Because not excellent, no cessation, no peace. Our peace is temporary peace, you know. Peace, ordinary peace is sensory mind peace. Eye, ear, nose, tongue. Not mental mind peace. We are based on the sensory mind. Whatever we see, something attractive, you know, happy. Unattractive, unhappy. You know what I mean? So this is ordinary people. Peace is just on the sensory mind. So here we are not talking about lasting peace is on the basis of mental mind. Mental mind calm, stable, and then we'll cease the delusions. Then it is really peace, and it is excellent, and then renunciation, renounce from the samsara cycle of existence. And then we go to the path. To the path divided into four, right? Path, awareness, and achievement, and definitely freedom. Wisdom realizing emptiness is path. Wisdom realizing, you have realization of emptiness, path, which is awareness, pristine awareness. You know, you understand what I'm saying? It is true understanding of the reality, pristine awareness. You know, in pristine awareness, we have achievement. We will achieve our goal, our destination, liberation, enlightenment, permanent peace, everything. You know. And then definitely we have freedom from the cycle of existence. So that's how we have to meditate on Four Noble Truths. Truth of suffering, to the origin of suffering, to the cessation, to the path, divided into four with the 16 aspect of the meditation of the Four Noble Truths. Then you will really enjoy your life. You know, I'm not joking. You have peace in your life, you know. Nobody wants suffering. We don't have peace because we are just temporary happiness. It's sensory mind happiness, and no realization of no realization of the mental mind. Mental mind is key factor for the. So this is why Buddha taught the fundamental of your practice is Four Noble Truth. You can take all your body, your inside, we use this Four Noble Truth every day. You know. My body, impermanent, suffering, empty, you know, selflessness, origin, why, ignorance, bringing all the production, all condition, everything, cessation, peace, excellence, you know, and path, awareness, realization, and then definitely freedom. That you really freedom from the cycle of existence. Understand what Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.